Welcome to the only patient advocate podcast you'll ever need. In this podcast, you'll learn how to advocate for yourself and your family, and where to turn when if that becomes overwhelming. Now, here's your host, Joyce Schulz-Killian, registered nurse and owner of At Your Request Patient Advocate, LLC. She is your private patient advocate. Here at your request to communicate, educate, and advocate with and for you.
Hi, I'm Joyce Schulz-Killian, a registered nurse for 27 years and in healthcare since I was 18 years old. I'm the owner of At Your Request Patient Advocate, LLC. I'm here at your request because I am your private patient advocate, helping you navigate healthcare one puzzle piece at a time by educating, advocating, and communicating with and for you. I'm hoping to give you the tools you need to be your own best private advocate. Find me on Facebook at Your Request Patient Advocate and on Instagram at JSKICURN and on Twitter at RN Advocate for you. Hit like and subscribe if you like what you hear, and tell a friend. So today's podcast is going to be on elder abuse. This was a very hard one to do. Elder abuse is something that I really try to prevent as an advocate. So all right, so we're going to start with those statistics that you all love, and these ones are bad too. So according to a study by Yi-Shine Chang and Becca Levy, completed in April and May of 2020 and published in 2021, 1 in 5 older persons in the study sample reported elder abuse. That's an increase of 83.6% from prevalence estimate before the pandemic. Prior to the pandemic, this was 1 in 10. That's an increase of almost 84%. That's huge. According to the National Council on Aging, up to 5 million elders are abused every year, costing an estimated $36.5 billion that is scammed every year from elders. And the worst part of all the statistics is only 1 in 24 is reported. This is going to be hard. So there are several forms of elder abuse, and all of them are horrible in their own right. Here are some according to the NIH, the National Institute of Aging. Physical abuse. Physical abuse is just what it sounds like. Physical meaning hitting, slapping, or pushing, tying them up to keep them in place, or keeping them in a locked room, or even just against their will is physical abuse. This may be even done without harm intended, but as you can see, it still is abuse. Emotional abuse. Emotional abuse is also called psychological abuse, and it includes ignoring the adult purposefully, saying hurtful things, or yelling at them. It could be threatening them in any way. It can also be isolating them from other family or their friends if they want to see them. Neglect. Neglect is when someone purposely withholds something the person needs, like food, water, medications, and/or access to health care. It can also encompass physical, emotional, and social neglect to the client, not cleaning them as needed, ignoring them, and keeping them from outside contact or any contact is neglect. Abandonment is just that. Abandonment is leaving them without any plan for his or her care. This one's really rough. Sexual abuse involves forcing a person to be part of or to watch sexual acts. Disgusting as it sounds, it does happen. Financial abuse. Financial abuse occurs when money is involved and is taken, borrowed, without intent to pay back, or stolen from the older adult. It can include, but is not limited to, cashing checks for personal use, taking someone's retirement or Social Security benefits, using credit cards for your own personal use, forging checks, or utilizing bank accounts without permission. It also includes changing names or altering bank account or beneficiary information on legal documents of any type without the permission of the older person. Or if you know the person is demented and you have them sign saying that they have the capacity to make those decisions, to make those changes, that is abuse also. Who is being abused? Both older women and older men, but women more often than men. People with little to no family or friends near, and people with disabilities, memory problems, or dementia. It is usually people who rely on others for help with their overall care. Frail people make easy victims of elder abuse, sadly to say. It is without regard to wealth status, as people at poverty level with little to nothing have been taken advantage of as often as those with a substantial amount of money. The ones with less to begin with meet devastation sooner and have worse effects from the abuse, says the National Council on Aging. The number one exploitation is financial, especially during the pandemic. People were preyed upon, and the frail and weak were taken advantage of from many sources. Financial abuse is more prominent due to the ability of ease of money transactions now. We can bank from our phones, pay from our phones, and sometimes those accounts can be accessed using telephone, internet, or email, and without your knowledge. There was a lot of IDES, Illinois Department of Employment Security, fraud going on. People, the most recent was somebody that was collecting, kept getting her password changed and her email changed, and she kept changing it back, and the person kept coming in and hacking her and still doing it. So there's a way they can, they can get into your accounts. So because financial is the highest form of abuse currently, we're going to delve into that a little more, into the different forms of financial abuse. So there's financial and neglect. That's when someone does not pay for the things the money was set aside for, like the rent, mortgage, medical bills, payments, property taxes, medical payments, property taxes, or utility bills. Financial exploitation is misuse, mismanagement, or taking advantage of property, belongings, or assets without consent or under false pretenses or through manipulation or intimidation. That's very much happens a lot. I'm not going to do this unless you pay the rent. I can't take you to see Aunt Tracy unless you do this for me. That is intimidation or manipulation. Healthcare fraud. Healthcare fraud can be committed by physicians, medical practices, hospital staff, healthcare workers. It includes overcharging, billing twice, falsifying claims, or charging for care that was not given. Invoices and billing needs to be checked and double-checked. Medicare explanation of benefits, EOBs, can be compared to the direct charges to see if errors have occurred. Have someone help you go through these bills and charges. That's really important. Have somebody on your side there with you that you know you can trust, that's not taking advantage of you. Now, who commits abuse? Elder abuse, surprisingly enough, is generally done by someone the elder person knows. It can be done by strangers, say in a robbery, a random robbery, or a scam the elder person falls for via the internet. Possibly someone who meets the elder and forms a relationship. I've seen that happen with them for the sole purpose of elder abuse of some sort. Probably financial, but sadly, mostly it's someone they know. Neighbors or even family, mostly family members. 2/3 of abuse comes from family members, children or spouses. That's from the National Council on Aging. Who gets abused is the frail and elders that are dependent on others for some type of care. Anytime you bring another person into the picture, it opens up the elder to abuse of some sort. They have access to their home, their documents. They're left in the house with the person for lengthy periods of time. Maybe the person is napping. They might have a chance to go through documents and see things that maybe they shouldn't see. Some signs of abuse can be that the elder looks unkempt and unwashed, with unwashed hair and messy or soiled clothes. They may smell of urine or stool. They may have bruises on them. They may have lost weight. They may have broken equipment that has not been repaired. Their living space may be dirty, neglected, and potentially hazardous. There may be late notices for unpaid bills. They may have untreated medical conditions. Some other less apparent signs can be that the elder is not brought out as much. The elder has lost interest themselves in things that they used to enjoy and does not partake in activities like they used to. That's one of those silent signs. The elder being abused may not sleep well at night. The elder may appear depressed or ambivalent. There may be stories that just don't add up between the two, the caregiver and the elder. Someone can approach the elder privately and ask if they are okay. Report what you see, even if it may seem trivial or you're just not sure. Let professionals sort it out. The number to Adult Protective Services in Illinois is 1-866-800-1409. Nationally, 1-855-500-3537, which spells ELDR, from the National Center on Elder Abuse. They can be emailed at, this is a .gov site, so you know it's a good one, N as in Nancy, CEA-AOA.AOA.HHS.gov. The effects of elder abuse are tremendous, and it has been said that by the National Council on Aging that elders that have been abused have a 300% higher risk of death when compared to those who have not been mistreated. It causes trauma that can cause the person with dementia to advance quicker than normal. We know that in dementia, any sign of trauma, anxiety, any infection can advance the disease process. It causes trauma that can cause elder abuse, contributes to more family fights in the later years than any other topic. There are long-lasting psychological consequences and may cause one to rock back and forth or to duck as people come close by. If somebody is doing that, you know, kind of like if you've ever adopted a dog, you have to kind of give them chance to get used to the environment. If you're walking past somebody or go to touch your loved one and they back off or flinch, you know something is happening. It's time to report it. Let the professionals sort it out. You're not the one who has to make the decision. So how to prevent elder abuse? Number one is to take care of your health for obviously reasons, and for the fact that then you only need yourself for your care requirements. Elder abuse can be prevented by education to seniors on current scams, especially relating to online activities like banking, email, and shopping. So stay informed on what's happening, the local scams. There's a lot of times the library's putting on courses, or the local police station is sending out courses for people, telling them about local scams that are happening. Seek professional help for yourself or family members that may have drug, alcohol, or depression concerns. Encourage family members to seek help for drug, alcohol, and depression symptoms also. If you have family members having those symptoms, please have them seek professional help. Plan for your future with a living will, medical powers of attorney in place, and or wills and trusts that you have received help from independent of others. Review these documents yearly, if not bi-yearly. Make sure that they're still your wishes. Open your own mail. I can't stress that enough. Don't have somebody else opening your own mail. Have them organize it for you if you want, but you look things over. Do not give personal information over the phone or in an email or over the internet, unless it is a trusted site, and then still beware. Use direct deposit for all of your checks, so Social Security, any of your IRAs or your retirement funds, have them be directly deposited into your accounts. Have your own telephone and know how to use it. Know your rights as someone who may live in a facility or a community to someone who lives at home. Know your rights with contracts with caregivers, etc. There are caregivers for people that live at home. I always encourage a contract, even if it's a private caregiver. You want to always check with your insurance also. All right, who can help? Someone needs to step in for the elder person. An advocate can definitely help, but anyone can call the hotline. The number to Adult Protect Services, again, in Illinois is 1-866-800-1409, and nationally the number is 1-855-500-3537. And you can email at ncea-info@aoa.hhs.gov. I'll put a link into the several agencies in the bio. Check there for the full list. Medical professional, lawyers, doctors, nurses are mandated reporters of mistreatment. So I'm a mandated reporter. So if I see something, even if I'm not sure, I have to report it. And it's always best to, again, let the professionals sort it out. If you see anything, it's better to say something than not say something. And if you think this cannot wait, do not hesitate to call 911. So as you can see, elder abuse is still ever present and more now than ever, seeing we are just coming out of a very isolated time. I am sure as the months go by, more and more abuse will be identified and reported. I just hope it is sooner than later. This is why it is ever important to have somebody you can trust in your corner, whether it be a friend, pastor, neighbor, family member, or an advocate by your side to have your back and make sure no one is being taken advantage of. So that is my spiel on elder abuse. And on that note, I would like to thank you for listening. If you like what you hear, please hit like and subscribe and tell your friends. I would like to thank everyone who helped me take the plunge into this podcast and with all my dreams I've had in the past 8 years. Remember, I am your private patient advocate, and I'm here at your request to help you navigate the healthcare system one puzzle piece at a time by educating, advocating, and communicating with and for you. I'm here at your request because I am your private patient advocate. Find me on Facebook at your request patient advocate, and on Instagram at JSKICURN, and Twitter at RN advocate for you. Hit like and subscribe and tell a friend. Thanks and have a great day.